Hello, in this session we're going to show how to create robotic process automation. The process that we're going to show, it would be to create sales order with lines that we're going to read from CSV file. We're going to use for that services that we created in previous sessions, like create order header, add first line, and add next line. So let's start by going to RPA tab on the side. So now we're going to create a new process. I'm going to click on the plus sign, which is create new process, and we're going to get to the diagram of RPA. Let's name it RPA create order from file, and click on the plus sign. When we click on the plus sign, we will get the items that we can add to the diagram or to the flow. We have service, which means all the services that are in Service Manager. That could be database, forms, JavaScript, or HTML services. We can combine them, all the services, and run them. There's external service that could be any API that we can consume, could be Google, could be IDCS, could be any API that we can run. There's condition, send email with the content and the data, the output fields that we got from previous services. We can read and write to files, could be CSV or just files. We can perform loop and iteration over files, over input-output parameters and lists. And we can write our own custom JavaScript. So let's do with service, and the first service in that flow would be header. So let's create header. We have here all the input fields that we want to use. We can click on keep alive, which means that the form session would be kept open for next steps, and that would be the add line, etc. We can add handle error, which means that we can use or can perform other actions when the service fails. If we don't set it, when the service fails, it would just stop the flow, just exit the flow. And let's add loop over the file. The file would be this file. You can see that we have here the headers, we have titles. And let's go and use this file, CSV file. Let's choose it. And now we're going to iterate over the lines. So for every line, I'm going to call the service that's called add line. And we would need to set the input fields from that file. So for row number, I'm going to choose loop row number. For item, I'm going to choose item. For quantity, I'm going to choose quantity, and for date, I'm going to choose the date one. And of course, keep alive. Now, once the service ended successfully, I want to send myself email. So I'm going to add here send email to auraplayer.demo, and I'm going to add parameters like order created, and let's add it from the header, the order number. And if I want to add more output fields that we got from the service, I can say okay, status bar messages, and get it from any one of the flows. So let's add status bar messages, save, and test it. Now when we're going to test it, it's going to create header, read the CSV file, go over the lines, enter them to the sales order, and then send myself an email. Okay, so we can see that this order was created, and I got now email about this order with the body that I set. Now this service, this process is not exposed yet. In order for us to use it in next steps or in other environments externally, we need to publish it. And once we publish it, we will have a service, and that will be the service that can be used across all the users that have access to eBusiness Suite. Okay, thank you guys, and see you soon on the next session.